Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm thrilled to be here. Today I'm going to be doing my eyeshadow roulette. This is a series I do every 2 weeks where I choose 5 shadows from my stash to focus on to try and get to know them better. I say this every time, but just in case you're new here, first of all, thank you, welcome, I'm glad you're here. But I bought a lot of my eyeshadows last year and I tended to stick with the same ones, so a whole bunch of my collection is new and perhaps just swatched. So I'm using this series as a way to get to know everything in my stash, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. So first, let's do a recap of the 5 shadows that I chose 2 weeks ago. I will insert a picture over here of a hand swatch of all of the shadows I had picked. This was the very first one that I chose. This is from IBY. This is their shade Fire and Ice. You can see it's a really interesting shade. It has kind of a warm brown base, but like green sparkles in it. And I had a lot of fun with this little single. It blended really nice. I actually used it a lot in the outer corner and kind of blended it over into the crease and then used, whatever lighter shade across. And even with the green shift, it went fine with my golds that I had drawn this month. And I did wear this one time with green for a different palette and I thought it was really, really pretty. So I'm happy to have this in my collection. It's very different from anything else that I have. I have it marked down that I used this 6 times. Next, I drew 2 shades from my Anastasia Master Palette by Mario. Let's talk about this shade first. This is the shade 5th Avenue. You can see it is a light gold toned champagne-y color. This was very useful. I wore it a lot along like the inner portion of my eye, and I happen to really just like the performance of these shadows in general. They're very sparkly and yet classy looking. They're really pretty. So 5th Avenue I wore, I only have it marked down I wore that 4 times, which I feel like I did a lot more. In any case, I did enjoy it. I felt like I got to know it. The other shade that I chose is this one named Marina. This was probably my favorite shade because while it does have kind of a gold tone as well, you can see it has more pink in it. And this was, I felt like, a very rich looking shade on the lid. Like it really popped and stood out. It was just, I really enjoyed it. I'm a little annoyed with myself because I have it only marked down that I wore it 3 times. Pretty sure I wore that more often than that. But once again, in any case, the point of this is to try and get to know my shadows, not necessarily to use them a certain amount of times. I just need to be more careful about actually marking it down, which I thought I was. Maybe I did only wear it 3 times, but I really liked it when I did. Next shade that I chose was from this Beauty Bakery Proof is in the Pudding palette. I chose this one here in the middle called Spice Caramel. I actually had a little bit of a hard time with this shade this month. I kept trying. I felt like it swatched really, really strongly. It was super, super gold, but applying it to the lid, it just didn't have the same effect as swatching it. It just didn't have the same pow. Also, I'm finding that this true gold shade, I kind of got, like it was fine to use, but I just know it's not something that I would reach for every day. So maybe that's why I haven't used these shadows as much as the other ones. I kind of got tired of the same gold looking color scheme using these, but it is a pretty shadow. And I used this 4 times. The last shade that I chose was this one from the e.l.f. New Classics palette. I chose this shade right here called Beloved. And if you saw that video, I actually wasn't happy because I remember swatching or using this on my eyes and it pulled more of like an orange pink and I just wasn't thrilled about it. But I actually learned to appreciate this shadow in the past couple weeks, which makes me happy. I like having shades that I enjoy using. It's still not a shade that I would use every day, but it definitely has its uses. It can pull more orange or pink, depending of course on what you put with it. And I liked it. It was pretty. And I used this shade 4 times. So as much as I enjoyed getting to know those shadows, I'm actually really looking forward to choosing new ones. The last quintet was very gold toned. I'm looking forward to trying something else. So I'm going to pull out my Pretty Random app. I'm using the numbers 2 through 156. Let's see what we get. I'm trying to hold it up here so we don't get the glare from the window. That's like not happening. First, we have 124. Oh, I need to go find something to write this down. 34, 89, 34, which we already drew, so we do that again, We have 101. And our last number, number 71. So I am super excited because that first number, 124, is from one of my brand new palettes. If you saw my low buy recap video, you know that I just got these and I haven't used them yet. I was so focused on using the ones in my roulette. So here it is. It is so pretty. Once again, this is a gold tone palette. Let's see, I chose the number or the one called Mino. Oh, not gold toned at all. This very dark one here on the corner, that will be fun to use. And I'm honestly happy to have drawn a matte. Last time was all shimmers. Ooh, that'll be so nice on the outer corner and for lining. Fantastic, I'm happy about that. Our next number, 34, brings us back to our Master Palette by Mario. This has been in every eyeshadow roulette so far, which I'm not complaining. It's a really fun palette. Ooh, I'm so excited. It's not gold tone, so I'm happy it's for a different one. It's this shade here called Bronx, which it looks kind of like a muted, kind of a dirty green color. Obviously, I haven't used it. Oh, I am gonna have so much fun with that. This goes great with this. Oh, that's pretty. I'm super happy. Let's see what else we got. Once again, we got a palette that I have been using every time. This is the Elf New Classics palette, and I'm super thrilled about the color I chose. This one here called Uptown. Awesome neutral. Yay! Honestly, I'm not minding that I keep drawing this palette. This palette, even though it's not a massive like table palette or anything, it has more shades than what I would usually go for. So being able to focus on just a shade here and there is helping me to really not be so intimidated by this many colors. Okay, let's swatch Uptown. That, once again, is a very useful shade. I'm happy. Shade number 101 is from my Cargo Cosmetics Tokyo in Bloom palette. It's the very first one, this one here called Ginza. Ooh. Oh yes. Awesome. So far we have gotten 2 mattes and 2 shimmers. Let's see what our 5th one is. Number 71 is from one of my favorite palettes ever. This is the Going Coconuts palette from Colourpop. And it is this shade right here called De Coco. Ooh. Oh, I am all about the shade selection I got this time. Look at that. I'm happy, I'm thrilled. I'm happy to have something, I mean, all the shades that I have chosen so far for my roulettes have all been fun and pretty, but I think this has to be one of my favorite color combos yet. Alright guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today as I choose my next 5 shadows for the next 2 weeks. And here at the end of the video, I'll post some pictures of the difference in how those shades looked and some of the looks that I did using those shades. But thanks so much guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay warm and cozy wherever you are. It's still so cold here. I live in the cold and frozen wasteland called the Midwest, the Northern Midwest. But if you've not done so, please like and subscribe. It would mean so much to me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!